Hey everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today I'm really excited because it's the start of like my favourite series of the year, which is prom makeup. So this is my first prom makeup tutorial for 2019. I've kicked it off with more like a classic champagne gold like brown smoky eye, but it is quite like a full glam as well, which is really nice. So I really hope you like it. Let me know if you do down in the comments below. Let me know if you would wear this for prom as well. Don't forget to subscribe because you're already here, you might as well. And if you want to see my first prom makeup tutorial for 2019, then keep watching. I'm going to leave prom makeup, which I've done already. I've got a big playlist just full of inspo for you, so I'll leave them up there, and there will be plenty more to come as well. So if there's anything in particular you want to see, then let me know. We're going to start with eyes first because we're going to be using glitter and we don't want anything falling down and ruining our foundation. So I'm going to start with using the P. Louise base. I'm using the shade number 2. So I'm just kind of carving out my brow first, and then I'll just pat the rest of the shadow base all over my lid. And you could use a concealer as well if you don't have an eyeshadow base, but this I just find works so much better than using a concealer. So now we've got the even base, we can start with eyeshadows now, and I'm going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics bronze palette. I don't think I'm going to need any other shades than that are in here today because we're just going to be using sort of more brownie tones, and we're going to be using a pigment on the lid. So I'm first going to start by using this one right there, and this is just our transition colour, so just with a fluffy brush, just taking it into the crease. I didn't want to do anything too adventurous today because I've woke up with like the worst hay fever today, so I feel and sound and probably look like I've got a cold, which I haven't. It's just hay fever. So I really wanted to get like a prom tutorial up, so I thought if we go from more classic and then we can be a little bit more adventurous than some of the next ones. So just going backwards and forwards, and I'm also blending it out sort of in this outer corner because we are going to sharpen that bit up, so you can be like as messy as you want in this outer corner. Try not to apply too much eyeshadow at once because it can be a little bit harder to blend out, so I like to go slowly. So that's our transition colour down now. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of this one. I don't want this too warm because I feel like I do quite warm tones quite a lot, but that's just because I love them. But I think if we're doing more of like a champagne gold, we don't want it sort of too reddy brown. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of this one just to sort of deepen it up, and then we can go in with the darker brown in this palette. And I'm just keeping it on the same brush because I am quite lazy. I hate having to change my brush all the time, so I'm just going on the outer part of my lid with this and then just buffing it into the crease. I do makeup on clients, I always swap my brushes and stuff, but when I'm doing makeup on myself, I'm just too lazy. And then I'm just going to take like a thicker buffer brush, go in with the very first shade that we use, and then just sort of buff over the top. I'm blending mine up quite high because I like it when you can see like a lot of the shadow when my eyes are open. I feel like I've got quite a lot of space between like my crease and my eyebrow, so I always like to buff it up a little bit further. And then I'm going in with this like darker brown to deepen it up. This one is like a very dark brown, so we want this mainly to be on the outer corner, and then I'm going to go in with a different brush and like help blend it up, because if I blend this up too high then it'll just completely cover like all the other eyeshadows that I've used. So I'll just sort of press it on where I want it first, and then I'll go and blend it with a different brush. So I've got like another little blender here, so I'll just go in with the first 2 shades that we used, and this will help just blend it out a little bit. And it doesn't matter if you sort of blend it out too far because we are going to be using like a wipe to sharpen that up. So for the inner part of the eye where we're going to be applying like the champagne gold, you could either just sort of pat it on like I'm going to do, or you can sort of cut the crease if you wanted to, but I want this to be more of like an easy, we're stepping into the prom makeup series, so this is going to be more easy because we're going to be applying a pigment over the top anyway. I'm just going to use the Becca Champagne Pop highlight as my base underneath rather than an eyeshadow, but if you've got an eyeshadow then just use that. This is just on the side, I'm going to be using it later so I might as well use it now, and this is more of a champagne gold tutorial, so what better thing to use. So I'm using just a flat brush, and I prefer to tap rather than sweep. I just find it helps it sort of blend together Don't worry too much at this second about these two blending together. Just get your eyeshadow on first. And then any excess that is left on your brush, I just tap over where those two meet. And then you can always use your finger as well to blend them in. So for pigment, I'm going to use this one, which I got from Primark. It came in a set. It's just called PSI pigment, and it's like a champagne gold. But there is literally so many pigments like that are inexpensive that you can get. I like to apply my pigment with the NYX glitter glue. I do also like the Too Faced glitter glue, and the Makeup Revolution glitter glue is just absolutely fine as well. You want most of it sort of in this inner corner. So start from the inner corner and then just tap the excess like outwards, but obviously we don't want it all over the lid. We only want it up to where the dark shadow is. And then I've picked up my pigment and then I'm just going to press it on. Again, starting from the inner corner, and then we'll work our way out. And it will fall everywhere, so be prepared. That's why we always do eyes first, because it's just easier, because it will fall down, it's like inevitable. And what I am going to do is take the medium brown, so the more reddish brown, and then I'm going to sort of tap that a bit like over where these two meet. Okay, so now I'm just going to sharpen this up. I'm just going to take a wipe. This is going to help as well when we come to do winged eyeliner in a second, so we're already going to have like a shape to go from. So I always sort of look to where I would want my winged eyeliner, and then just go straight up to where my brow is. Now it's time for our winged eyeliner, and I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio, the black one. This is just my absolute favourite gel liner, and I feel like it's really long lasting as well. I'm going to quickly apply my mascara and lashes now. So the lashes that I'm using are Tease lashes from Cocoa Lashes, and then I'll be back in 1 sec and then we can finish the rest of this face. While I was putting my lashes on as well, I forgot to say I did just wipe under my eyes where the glitter fell down. I haven't just left it on. And then for foundation and primer, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer and then the Pro Filter foundation. I forgot to tan last night before filming this video, so I wish I was a little bit more tanned. But I'm not, I'm extremely fair, so I haven't got a lot of foundations to choose from today. This foundation does set quite quickly as well, so I'll do like the bottom half of my face first, and then I'll do the top half. My skin is quite dry as well, and this is more of like a matte foundation, and I think even this might be a little bit too dark for me, but I don't have a lot of choice today, so I'll just have to blend it down onto my neck, I think. So that was 2 pumps of the foundation. I actually think that's fine. This is a little bit too dark for me, so I'm going to go in with more concealer to sort of brighten it. So I'll probably just apply like a bit more concealer than I'm used to. So for concealer, what's new? I'm going to use this. I am looking for more concealers to use. I know the Barry M have got a good one out at the moment, so I do want to try that. But I think once you like something, it's hard to try anything else. So this is going underneath my eyes, and again right into this inner corner here where I am very dark at the moment. And then I'm going to go right into my nose area, onto my chin, and then I'll do my forehead as well. I mean, I could really have just used this as a foundation. So again, with a beauty blender, I'm just blending all that in. Do blend it down onto your neck as well if you are like me and you haven't got the right foundation shade today. See how just adding the lighter concealers just sort of evened everything out. Foundation doesn't look too dark now. This is the Rimmel Insta Duo contour stick. I'm just going to use a little bit of the medium. Just right in this sort of hello, because I am quite fair, aren't I? So there's not really much to work with on my skin at the moment. I'm just going to sort of buff this in, then I'm going to go over with bronzer anyway. I just want to add a little bit of depth right there. So to start setting everything in place, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is my fave. And this foundation, like I said before, is quite matte, so I don't need to set this that much. It's just mainly like under the eyes and like down the centre. And then the rest we're going to be applying like bronzers and things over the top anyway, so that is technically going to set it as well. And then for bronzer, it's taken weeks, but I finally found my favourite bronzer again. It was hiding, so I'm going to use the Beached Bronzer by Urban Decay. So I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush, and again try not to be too heavy handed because I am quite fair, but I will also bronze my neck as well. Should have remembered to tan. Okay, and then I need to sort of bronze up my neck a little bit. And then for blush, I'm going to use like one of the only ones I own, which is Milani from It's not Milani from Luminoso, it's Luminoso from Milani. And this is just going like on the apples. And then I do like to blend it back, like up into my bronzer. I feel like if you're more fair, you can get away with wearing more blush than you can bronzer, whereas if I'm more tanned, I prefer to wear more bronzer than blush. And then with the Anastasia Contour Kit, I'm just going to go in with a tiny little bit of that one at the end and just kind of go in the hollows of my cheeks a little bit more, and then we can like cut them with the powder. And then to like tidy up underneath, I'll just take the powder on the edge of the sponge and just clean it up, make it look nice and sharp. I don't leave it here for long at all, I literally just put it on and then I wipe it off straight away. Okay, so I'm going to finish the under eyes now, and then there's not much left to do. So I want the under eyes to be quite smoky, I think. You could just leave it like this and wear like a bare under eye, that looks like really nice. I'm going to try and smoke it out a bit today. I feel like I haven't done like a proper like glam makeup look for ages, so this is like I'm living life right now. For my waterline, I'm going to use MAC's Teddy eye pencil. I'm going to line like the top waterline and the bottom one as well. And I am just slightly rubbing it into the very roots of my bottom lashes as well. I'm going back in with the eyeshadow palette and I'm just taking this brush. This is the Luna Beauty brush which came with the Lives to Drag palette. And I'm going to start by using the very first transition shade that we used, so that one right there. And I do say this like in every video, but I do like to blend my under eye down quite far because I have like the worst under eye creases, and I feel like this does like help disguise them a little bit. And if you do want that like really smoky under eye, don't be afraid of blending it down like further than you usually would, especially if it's like a lighter shade like this one. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with like the more reddish brown. This one's going to stay like closer to the lash line this time, so every time we go in with a darker shade, it stays closer to your lash line and you don't blend it down as far. And then for the very last shade, I'd move on to like a small like definer brush like this, and with the very darkest shade we're going to push this right into the root of our lower lashes. You could even go in with the like the black shade in here if you wanted to, but I feel like this is dark enough. And then I think the eyes are pretty much done. I really like them. So the only thing we need to do now is highlighter and lips. So for highlighter, like I said earlier, I'm just going to use a Champagne Pop from Becca. And I might just I'm just going to spritz my face with some of that spray before I apply my highlighter because I feel like it makes it stand out just a little bit more. So I'll just spritz. When you can feel like it's near enough dry, then you can start applying your highlight. And it just makes it pop a little bit more, I think. So for lips, I'm going to go nude, but I'm going to do more of like a mauvey nude. So I'm going to use the Toulouse lip liner from NYX first, and then I'm going to use this lipstick from Primark, which is in Gossip. And I've been really liking the matte lipsticks from Primark. They're just so nice. Okay guys, so that completes my first prom makeup tutorial for 2019. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did down in the comments below. Please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!